That's a long microphone. Can everyone hear? Thank you all. I'm Providence Councilwoman Joanne Ryan. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you to the Mayor's St. Patrick's Day celebration. We have a wonderful program today, but first I would like to formally welcome our friends from our new twin city in Ireland. The Mayor, Vincent McCormick, from the Mayor of Athlone Moat District, and his distinguished delegations from Athlone, Ireland. They've been here for a few days. They came in Wednesday, and they've enjoyed touring our city. So thank you very much for making the trek. And without further ado, I would like to invite Bernie, Reverend Bernie O'Reilly, Pastor Emeritus of St. Patrick Parish, up to the podium. And if you could kindly... A friend of Providence, if you could give us the invocation, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. And again, happy belated St. Patrick's Day. Not forgetting St. Joseph as well. All right, my friends. It's almost 1,600 years ago. A young boy of the tender age of 16 years was called by God to undertake an extraordinary mission. He was to return to a land that held him captive for 6 long years, tending sheep on what is now Slieve Mish in County Antrim. The divine summons must have caused him severe internal conflict at having to face his captors again. Nevertheless, having been ordained priest and bishop, he willingly accepted the call, and ultimately, it will change his life and that of an entire nation. Patrick expressed his understanding of God in very earthly terms, in ways that the people could understand him. He said, "Our God is the God of all people and all things. He is the God of heaven and earth, the God of the sea, the God of rivers, the God of sun, moon, and stars, the God of high mountains and deep valleys. Our God dwells in heaven, on earth, and in the sea. He gives life and breath to all. He is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit undivided." He also explained the life of the Trinity using the familiar symbol of the shamrock, the three-leaf shamrock, which with its 3 leaves representing the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And his legacy made Ireland ultimately synonymous with Catholicism. Today, our celebration must include a renewal of that faith that Patrick made part of our very being. So let us now, for a brief moment, close our eyes and focus on his personal union with Christ, expressed very clearly and beautifully in what is known as the breastplate of Patrick. It reads, "Christ beside me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ within me, Christ under me, Christ over me, Christ at my right, Christ to my left. Christ in my lying, my sitting, and my rising. Christ in my lying and my sitting, Christ in the heart of those who think of me. And now let us conclude the prayer in the very language of Patrick himself. Those who are visitors will probably understand this. Christ I grí gach duine a smínevarm. Christ I méal gach duine a lauríon orm. Christ I súl gach duine a fecin orm. Christ I dlúis gach duine a éistin orm. Christ I méal gach duine a lauríon orm. Christ I súl gach duine a fecin orm. Christ I dlúis gach duine a éistin orm. Very briefly, it says, Christ in my thinking, my speaking, my seeing, my listening, my speaking, my looking, and my listening to all. Friends, today, our relationship must include that kind of personal faith. It really has guided the Irish people, and as you can see and understand, this blessing today and this celebration today is indeed a celebration of that very faith. So, go mbeadh banach dé oribh go léir in anam an ahar agus an bheici agus an spirit nave. Amen. May the blessing of God be with all of you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm sure, people, you don't need my encouragement to celebrate this great gift that Patrick has left us. Enjoy it.
So before I introduce the great mayor of the city of Providence, I'd like to take just a moment because Father reminded me of our dear friend, Sister Ann. Many of you know Sister Ann Keefe. She was a dear friend and a vital member of our community. And John Henson reminded me just the other evening when we were chatting. She used to always say, don't forget to be Irish. And it's a sentiment encouraging the preservation of Irish culture, values and identity, emphasizing warmth, wit, storytelling, and resilience. It is a call to maintain pride in Irish heritage, celebrating camaraderie and community. With that, I'd like to introduce the leader of our community, Mayor Brett Smiley.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Councilwoman, and welcome everyone to Providence City Hall, to all of our visitors and guests. This is the people's house and the public's house, and so we're so glad that you've walked through those doors, and we hope you feel at home. Special thank you to Council President Rachel Miller for opening up her chamber to all of us. Thank you, Councilwoman. Very pleased to be joined along with Councilwoman Mary Kay Harris. Councilman Pedro Espinal is here in the back there. Representative Scott Slater, thank you, Scotty. Many members of Providence Public Safety is here. I think the most senior ranking proud Irishman today, Commander Tim O'Hara, the Deputy Chief of the Providence Police Department. We have Councilman Zykom Zavorvong from the city of Newport joining us. Thank you, Councilman. And today, most importantly to our visitors, Mayor McCormick, the rest of the council, the young people who've joined us today, we are so thrilled that you're here. It has been a real delight to spend the last day together, and having gotten to know many of you on a previous trip, we are becoming fast friends, and hopefully you feel like this is starting to become a home away from home, because we are thrilled that you're here. The councilwoman and leaders in our local community, especially Patrick Griffin, have worked really hard to build this relationship, and I think the seeds that we've planted are going to bear fruit for some time to come, and we're very, very grateful for that. For those of you who have not yet had a chance to get to know our new friends from Athlone, just think for a moment about a growing city halfway between two of the largest and thriving economies in the country, boasting a higher quality of life than maybe the bigger cities, and a city defined by a river and all that can come with it. And you maybe think I'm talking about Providence, Rhode Island, between New York and Boston and the Providence River, but that is in fact the city of Athlone. And what we have in common as we get to know one another turns out to be deeper and deeper than I think we even originally knew. And so it is what we hope to be a very bright future ahead for both of our communities. And here in Providence, it is always an exciting and joyous occasion to be able to celebrate the Irish-American heritage that we have in our city, the incredible deep roots that have marked this city's evolution. And so whether it is through culinary destinations, the built environment, built with Irish labor, the incredible leadership that we see today in government or academia, or law enforcement, in business and in the arts, indeed there are Irish fingerprints all over what we see around us here in our capital city, and we are so proud of that. And at this moment where many of our Irish friends came here a generation or two ago, it is important for us to reflect upon how much stronger we are as a community because of their contributions, and remember that spirit as we continue to welcome other newcomers into our community today, to recognize that a generation or two from now, they will be the village elders and the leaders of our community, and Providence is and will remain a welcoming community to all. And so, perhaps to paraphrase a bit of an Irish expression, I just want to remind everyone that as we gather for this celebration and tomorrow for our parade, and with the warmest possible welcome with our friends from Ireland, I'm reminded of this simple truth. There are no strangers, only friends we have not yet met. And so we hope that your time with us is filled with warmth, laughter, and a true connection. And may the roads here in Rhode Island rise to meet you wherever it takes you next. Thank you very much.
I would also like to take the opportunity to recognize some former council people that are in our chamber tonight. Mike Kelly, warm welcome. Former councilman and former Grand Marshal. And we have Dave Dillon, former councilman. Dave held the distinction of serving as the finance chair, so he and I share a lot of chats. We have former Grand Marshal Jimmy Riley with us this evening. Okay, with that, I'd like to introduce our newest bishop of the city of Providence, the Most Reverend Bruce Lewandowski.
Very happy to be with you here on such a wonderful occasion. I think we know much about St. Patrick, but I'm not sure everyone understands that St. Patrick was a miracle worker, and that he had the ability, it seemed as if by magic, but we know it was by the grace of God and the power of the Holy Spirit, to work wonders, giving sight to the blind, healing the sick. It's even told that he raised the dead. Perhaps one of the most amazing miracles I find is that when Patrick and his band of missionaries in Ireland were on the run, being chased by king's soldiers, the king wanted Patrick dead. He had a price on his head because Patrick was so effective in bringing people together and building up the church that he actually had a price on his head, and they wanted him killed. So one day they're in the forest, Patrick and his band of missionaries, and they realize that the king's soldiers are about to attack. And at that moment, Patrick does what no one would do. Instead of hiding in the underbrush and being silent, he calls the missionaries together and they begin to sing and chant as loud as they can. Well, you think that would attract the attention of the soldiers, but through the prayer and the chanting, when the soldiers looked at Patrick and the other missionaries, all they saw was a herd of deer grazing in the field. The power of the song, the power of the prayer, and the power of their unity together brought a kind of shape-shifting miracle where they were seen as grazing deer, or we might call it spiritual camouflage. It's the power of being together, of trusting in God, the power of faith. And I think it's much, much more than the power of positive thinking, but knowing that with God and together all things are possible, that we're capable of miracles ourselves. And I don't think we think about that. But if you look in the room here today, there are not just Irishmen and women here, people of tremendous, beautiful Irish heritage. My family's all Polish. We have folks from the Latino community, from other heritage of Asia, Africa, and Europe. And the miracle of being together on a day like this, well, it's St. Patrick's Day and it's a St. Patrick's celebration. But all of us come together to celebrate what? The miracle of what it is just to be and to breathe free and to be able to express ourselves and be who we are and how we are, where we are right here and right now. We shouldn't take that for granted. Freedom. Freedom to live in peace, love, justice, and harmony. I'm grateful for your presence here, coming all the way from Ireland. What a beautiful, beautiful gift you are to us here in Providence. And I'm grateful to Mayor Smiley for the invitation to be able to be with you here today. Really thrilled. And now what you're all waiting for if you're Catholic. This is the real reason I'm here. It's Friday and it's Lent. And we know what that means. A Friday in Lent, there's no corned beef or hot dogs or hamburgers or pepperoni or prosciutto or anything else. But today there is a dispensation. For all of us here who are Catholic, feel free to eat as much as you would like and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful celebration that brings us together as community and reminds us of the best that we all are. Brothers and sisters in the great family of humanity. Brothers and sisters, really, it's wonderful to be with you. So enjoy, have a wonderful day, enjoy the parade tomorrow, and may God bless us and continue to watch over us and keep us always in his care.
I just said to the council president that was going to be a tough act to follow. He got, I think, the loudest applause I've ever heard in this chamber. But with that, I would like to honor and recognize the head of our council, Council President Rachel Miller. Could you please say a few words?
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Ryan and Mayor and Bishop and all of our honored guests who are here today from Athlone, from around the city. It is always an honor to welcome you into the City Council chambers on behalf of myself and my colleagues. Celebrating Irish American cultural traditions here in Providence is a unique honor as well. We have, for more than a century, right, Irish Americans literally built the city with their hands and shaped the cultural traditions with their words and deeds. For me, it is particularly personal, and so indulge me on a little bit of my own storytelling. When I was a child, my mom took me out of school every year so that I could be with my grandmother, who was from Cork, and we could watch Irish dancing. And so what I said to Councilwoman Ryan the first time I came to one of the celebrations that you created was it brought me exactly back. I'm running from my day job to come over here. It's a little bit of bringing me back to that celebration. Just want to point out, Councilwoman Ryan has done an incredible job of bringing Ireland here to City Hall year after year for 12 years, and so thank you. I was raised, so my grandmother on my father's side spoke Yiddish. Her family came from Russia, which is now Poland, in the 1880s. My grandmother on my Irish side lived with us from Cork. And so she was our childcare. My childcare was saying the rosary with my grandmother and singing Irish songs. And that was it, pretty much. And one of those songs was The Wearing of the Green. And I don't remember when I asked about it, but at some point I was like, why is this a thing, right? What are we talking about here? And when I heard from my grandmother, really from both sides of my family, and I think maybe there's not, having a Russian, Jewish, and Irish family is part of our joint immigrant experience. But what I heard from my grandmother and what I am so profoundly proud of when I think of my own Irish heritage is it is a story of a yearning for freedom. When the bishop was speaking, I was thinking that we were on the same wavelength this morning. It is a story of a community yearning for freedom, as so many immigrant communities do when they come to this country. That yearning stays with us. It is vibrant, it is alive, it is celebrated in the culture that we celebrate today and tomorrow and every day. And it is with us throughout our days and our actions. And I'm just so proud to wish you all, in that spirit of freedom and community-wide liberation, happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. She reminds me this is actually my 12th year. I am term limited. I've served 3 years, three terms, 4 years each. And this is my last year as councilwoman, and I've had the distinct honor of emceeing and hosting the Providence St. Patrick's Day events at City Hall. It has been a labor of love, for sure. But with that, I'm most excited about establishing an agreement with Athlone to be our twin city. And we did that a year ago. The documents are actually outside the hall. You can take a look at that if you like. And it is signed by the mayor, Providence City Council, President Rachel Miller. So we had a unanimous decision of the council, and that doesn't happen often. Unanimous decision to twin with Athlone. I thank Council President for her leadership, and I thank my colleagues for joining me and signing that, and most of all, I thank the mayor for allowing us to do that. But we took a leap of faith after many, many years of trying to twin. The effort was started back in 2013. It depends who you talk to. It could be 12, could be 13. But the president of the Providence St. Patrick's Day Parade, our dear friend Patrick Griffin, who owns the proprietor of our favorite pub in Providence, had the brilliant idea of inviting a dear friend from Athlone, John Henson, to come to bring a group of military police officers that are also, a few are here with us today. Can't see where they are. There you are. They're shy. There's more than just two. It was a whole contingent that marched in the Providence St. Patrick's Day Parade, put on by our fabulous parade committee, and many members are here, and I thank you for that effort. It's been how many years, Patrick, have we had the St. Patrick's Day Parade? 32 years, wow. Anyway, that ask of his friend in Ireland, of John, brought folks over here. And that was the fruit. That was the beginning of multiple trips back and forth, getting to know each other, and learning about Athlone, as well as the Athlone folks learning about Providence. In my last year, I said, after we tried for so many years to twin, I said, I'm doing it before I leave. And I had the support of the council president and the mayor. So what did I do? What every council person does, or public official does, when they want to do something significant, they talk to other friends and representatives. And I said, I'm going to call my good friend, the mayor of Newport, Zai Kamsavoravong, who's with us. And I asked, how the devil did Newport twin with Kinsale? I wanted to know all the details, and I wanted to know how to do it. Anyway, Zai was kind enough to connect me with a number of people, council people, who led the initiative to twin. And we had a roundtable summit with many of the folks that you see here today, and he spoke about the benefits and the fruit that has come to benefit both Newport and Kinsale through that relationship for 25 years? 25 years. So Zai has a role and has played a significant part in the twinning of Providence and Athlone, and I will never forget you for that, Zai. Thank you very much. So after many, many years, we signed an agreement, and the folks from Athlone came over back in March, to march in the parade, but also to sign the agreement. And then a group of us went over to Athlone, and they hosted us, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's the beginning of a wonderful relationship. We expect, I hope it lasts a long, long time, and we enjoy ourselves for a long, long time. I can also, I'd like to introduce current Councilman Angus O'Rourke. He was a former mayor of Athlone, Moat District. He is chairman of the Athlone Twinning Committee. So we've got a twinning committee in Athlone, we've got a twinning committee in Providence. The plan is we're going to work together and continue to make connections and build our relationship. So I'd like to invite former Mayor Angus O'Rourke up to talk a bit. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you so much, Mayor Smiley, not just for your very kind opening remarks today, but for your generosity in recent days, for giving us so much of your precious time. We really do appreciate it. Reverend Bishop, thank you indeed for your remarks, and Father Bernard for your lovely invocation. Thank you so much. And to Rachel as well, thank you so much for everything and for attending yesterday's round summit as well. It was very, very helpful. But a huge thank you to Councilwoman Ryan for all of the coordination, all of the work that happens, much what we don't see, but everything this week has gone off so well. We really do appreciate, Joanne, you and your team and all that you've done for us. Thank you so much. Also Mayor McCormick, elected representatives from both cities, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. My name, as Joanna said, is Angus O'Rourke. I'm a councillor from Athlone, a role I've held for the last 15 years. And I've also had the honour of being chairman of the Athlone Providence Twinning Committee. So it gives me great pleasure, obviously, to be here in Providence with my Athlone delegation this week. Thank you all, every one of you, for the warm welcome, the hospitality, and for all of that planning that I mentioned earlier that has gone into what has been such a wonderful few days, very successful few days. We all really appreciate it. On every level, you've exceeded all of our expectations, so please give yourselves a round of applause. Providence is a city that has become very dear to us through the bonds the friendships, the visits, the collaboration in recent years. Our cities formally twinned, as Joanne said, last year, a very important milestone, following several years of getting to know one another. The twinning seed was sown, as Joanne said also, by two very influential men, Pat Griffin and John Henson. I too want to recognise the work that they put into this relationship. Even long before the seed was sown, those two men were working away behind the scenes to make this possible. So it must give both of you immense pride today to see what has been achieved in the meantime. Thank you, Pat and John. Thank you. It's only been a short 12 months since the twinning agreement was signed, but it has thrived in those 12 months. We're delighted to welcome a delegation from Providence last summer to our city Athlone, and now we're here in Providence to further explore the potential of this relationship. It is early days, but I think we have already achieved a great deal. We certainly look forward to working with Providence in many different ways into the future. We're delighted in particular to have an exchange in place this week with 11 students from Coláiste de Ciaran in Athlone with LaSalle Academy here in Providence. And I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge school management and teachers involved in organising that exchange. I know a lot of work has gone into that. So in particular on our side, I'd like to acknowledge Lucy Nally and Brendan Waldron. And also then on the LaSalle side, Thomas Haynes from LaSalle. So you might put your hands together. Yeah, we can ask the students to stand up, please, for a moment. We also have two chefs engaging in an exchange. They'll be here next week to take part in Providence Food Week. And I'd like to acknowledge the support of Go Providence, in particular Kirsten and her team, and also Athlone CEO Tommy Hogan in Athlone Chamber for the work in terms of putting that together. Our tourism officer in Westmeath County Council, Una Doris, also played a part in that. I also want to thank, as I've done already, but deserves to be thanked again, and that is Joanne Ryan, for the work genuinely that has gone on behind the scenes. Thank you so much. I also want to thank, and I see him over there in the corner, a certain guy by the name of Scott Slater and Mary Mercier, because Mary and Scott, Councilman Scott Slater and our Representative Scott Slater and Representative Mary Duffy Messier were instrumental in 2023 when we signed a Memorandum of Understanding. But that MOU was the launch pad, it was the springboard to get us to what we achieved 12 months ago. So you may have considered it a small step at the time, Scott and Mary, but it was hugely significant, and we really do thank you for your support. Unfortunately, we do live in a fractured world in ways today. We see polarization, geopolitical unrest, a climate crisis, and considerable uncertainty in parts of our world. But relationships and collaborations like ours are more important now than ever. In times of uncertainty and division, it is essential for long-term friends and allies to reaffirm their commitment to one another. So, Mayor Smiley, distinguished guests from Providence, today we extend to you the hand of friendship, respect and goodwill from Athlone to Providence, from Westmeath to Rhode Island and from Ireland to the United States. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. Wow, that's tall. Okay, so now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the current mayor of Athlone Moat District, Councillor Vinnie McCormick.
Thank you very much, everyone, and particular thank you at the outset to Mayor Smiley for your outstanding hospitality so far during our visit, Councilwoman Ryan, Bishop Lewandowski, Reverend Riley, Grand Marshal Kavanagh, he's here somewhere, and Deputy Grand Marshal Doherty. I just want to also mention our Chair of Westmeath County Council, Councillor Aoife Davitt, over here. And as Councillor O'Rourke mentioned, Representative Scott Slater, thank you so much for all you've done in this venture thus far. And I also just want to mention the Police Chief and Deputy Police Chief and others members of the Providence Police Force here. Thank you so much. It's a truly fantastic honour to be here in Providence City Hall for this special St. Patrick's Day celebration, a couple of days after St. Patrick's Day, but we like to extend St. Patrick's Day as far as we can on both sides. Once again, thank you to Mayor Smiley and Councilwoman Ryan and the entire Twinning Committee on this side of the ocean for the fantastic hospitality you've shown so far. I think it goes away to show how a trip is going to go when you arrive to Pat's Pub on a Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. in a rush, getting out of an Uber, to be greeted by the Governor of Rhode Island with a paintbrush in hand, going to assist in painting a shamrock on the road, while members of the Providence Police Force block off either end of the street for it to take place. So we knew then we were going to have a fantastic visit, and it certainly hasn't disappointed from that point. I suppose this visit is particularly meaningful for us as it's the first official visit of an Athlone delegation to Providence since the historic signing of our twinning agreement just a year ago. That agreement, signed by Mayor Brett Smiley and then Mayor of Athlone Frankie Keena, represented far more than a formal partnership. It marked the strengthening of a friendship that has been growing for more than a decade now. And as Councilwoman Ryan said, we were also delighted to host a delegation from Providence to Athlone last September, I think it was, Joanne, if that's right. A delegation was led by Joanne and the aforementioned Mary Mercier, who has been such a dear friend of us. It was a fantastic opportunity to deepen those bonds that we forged, and I hope that the visiting party experienced everything that Athlone has to offer and the warmest of Irish Céad Míle Fáilte while you were there. In truth, this relationship began in a much simpler way, as Angus outlined, with conversations between two old friends, John Henson and Pat Griffin. Their belief in the potential of a connection between Athlone and Providence helped bring us to where we are today. Both men have shown incredible perseverance over the years. And for both of you that know John and Pat, perseverance is probably a word that could readily describe both of them in a nutshell. They deserve enormous credit for the role they played in building this relationship, and a huge round of applause for everything they have put in. I'd also like to acknowledge the chairperson of the Twinning Committee on our side, Councillor Angus O'Rourke. Angus has put an incredible amount of work, time and energy into developing this partnership. His commitment and leadership have been central to the success of our relationship so far. So thank you, Angus, for everything you've done. It's particularly special to be here in Providence this year as the United States of America celebrates 250 years of independence. Few other nations in the world understand the value, importance of independence quite like Ireland. Generations of Irish patriots fought for our right to self-determination, and that shared appreciation for freedom and democracy is something that binds us together. And at a time when the world is facing uncertainty and unprecedented challenges in global affairs, friendships like the one between Athlone and Providence have never been more important. One of the most encouraging aspects of the relationship is the number of partnerships that have already been formed. And as Angus outlined, the Technological University of the Shannon on our side has built strong links with Providence College, is developing new relationships with Brown University, and is currently engaged in a chef exchange program with Johnson & Wales University, which is really exciting. And as Angus mentioned as well, we were also delighted to have students from Coláiste Ciaran and Athlone and LaSalle Academy with us today who are taking part in a very successful student exchange programme. And I also want to pay a particular mention to the host families in Providence. When we arrived at the hotel on Wednesday afternoon, there were so many host families there with their banners and made everyone feel so welcome. And again, it was a sign of the successful trip and the welcoming trip that we were going to have. It's wonderful to see young people building friendships across the ocean, because these will be the ones who carry this relationship forward into the future. There are also exciting opportunities ahead of us in terms of research and innovation. Our university in Athlone is one of the world's leading institutions in polymer sustainability research, a hugely important area for the future of the planet. And there's great potential for collaboration with the outstanding institutions that you have here in Providence. Tourism, I think, though, is a key link between our two cities. Both Athlone and Providence are defined by the rivers that run through them. The Providence River and the incredible Waterfire Festival attracts visitors from all over the world and has become a defining feature of the city. In Athlone, the River Shannon has shaped the town for centuries. Once Ireland's most important trading route, today it drives a thriving tourism industry that draws visitors to the town. We're currently developing major plans to enhance our amenities linked with the Shannon, but having seen the promotional videos for the Waterfire Festival, I think we'll be going home with the message of light up our river. Yesterday we had a hugely successful round table, as Joanne outlined earlier on. It was an excellent opportunity to exchange ideas and explore how our cities can work together in a number of areas, including tourism, commerce and so forth. So it was a really, really positive engagement yesterday. I suppose moving forward, the possibilities for collaboration between Athlone and Providence are endless. The key to the future of this relationship is that we don't put limits on it. Instead, we allow it to grow and develop naturally. Some of the most important opportunities between our cities in the future may be ideas we haven't even thought of yet. These unthought of ideas may go on to be the pillars which we base the relationship on within the future. Mayor Smiley, I would like at this point to extend a personal invitation for you and a delegation from Providence to come back and visit us in Athlone as soon as possible, and we can continue to build on the progress that we've made so far. There are a number of areas there where possible cooperation could be looked at, and as someone I know with a keen athletic and sporting background, there are possible links within that sphere that we'd love to discuss and show you what we have to offer from that point of view. I know we had a discussion last night. I won't be offering to give you a 5-kilometre race. I don't think I'd be very competitive on that front at the minute. I know you've had some pretty harsh weather in Providence recently, so we'll do our best if you do come to visit us in Athlone to make sure the sun is shining and the weather is good. Although trying to make a commitment on weather in Ireland is probably not a good idea, as we can never commit too strongly on that. But I suppose the truth of where we are, the foundations between our cities have been laid, the friendships are very real, and the possibilities for the future are enormous. So as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day together over these few days, we celebrate not just history, but the future. In Ireland, we sometimes say, Ninart go Curl le Céile, there's no strength without unity. And the friendship between Athlone and Providence shows exactly what can happen when people come together in that spirit. Thank you for your friendship, your hospitality, and for the opportunity to continue building this very special bond between our two cities. Happy St. Patrick's celebrations to you all. Agus Gorab Míle Ráthagad. Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne.
So, wow. So, thank you very much. You said a lot in that presentation, and I think that everybody can tell there's so much to say right now. I'm usually never at a loss for words, but there's so much that has happened with our twinning relationship, our partnerships, our visits. But I think the most exciting thing that I heard in your presentation is charging these young people today that are experiencing this exchange from LaSalle Academy. You guys, I think, have been charged to be the next twinning committee members. So that's what's in your future. And you heard that directly from the mayor of Athlone. Okay, so now we are going to lighten things up because we've had a lot of speaking. And I'm going to introduce my daughter, Meg Ryan Lynch, from the Goulding School of Irish Dance. And she's going to just do a few dances for you. She is a certified teacher under the Irish Dancing Commission in Dublin and teaches with the Goulding School of Irish Dance. She's going to be dancing. That's okay, babe. She's going to be dancing a few traditional Irish jigs and reels. Meg? Thanks, Mom. Okay. So Meg welcomed her second child, Owen Thomas Lynch, a few weeks ago, and she's up dancing. He's here with his big brother, and who's up there looking over the rail, my oldest grandchild, Jack Ryan Lynch. Say hi, Jack. Meg is a fourth-generation daughter of Leitrim, whose love for Irish dance began 28 years ago when she first saw Riverdance, and worked her way up through the ranks to open champion dancer under the tutelage of world champion and Riverdance cast member Deirdre Goulding. She represents the Goulding School here today. She has performed with Cherish the Ladies and Riverdance cast members, and toured with the famous Andy Cooney with Patrick Griffin's daughter. I was a little concerned when they got in a van with 5 men and drove all over the place, but they were in good hands, Patrick assured me. According to her, she was initially captivated by how she felt it connected her with her roots and is most passionate about passing it on to the next generation, especially her son, my grandson, Jack, who loves to dance around the kitchen. Next, Meg is going to be performing a fast-paced and lively dance that was first referenced in Scotland in 1590 and became popular in Ireland in 1800s. It's performed in light shoes, which are called hillies. I can't tell you how proud I am of my daughter, Meg. So we were supposed to have a few Irish dancers that Megan actually taught in the Goulding School, but one got injured, and the other one was afraid of getting injured because they're going to be performing or competing in the World Irish Dance Competition, which is in another week, I think. And Meg said, "Ma, I'll do it. It's your last time as councilwoman representing our Irish friends. I'm going to dance." So thank you, Meg, for doing that. So one of the traditions that we started, Patrick Griffin and I, because we do good things when we work together. One of the things we started years ago, 12 years to be exact, was we started to invite the Grand Marshal and the Deputy Grand Marshal to the mayors, if the mayor agreed, and of course this mayor always agrees. But we started to invite them to the mayor's celebration. It basically tied together the Irish celebrations with the mayor's efforts in the community. And that's what this is all about. So it is very fitting that we created that tradition, and I hope that we continue to do that. So I am proud next to welcome Don Kavanaugh, who is the 2026 Grand Marshal. He's dedicated to LaSalle. His dedication to LaSalle spans over 50 years. He's a Providence native and one of 7 siblings. He followed his brother to LaSalle, excelling as both a scholar and athlete before earning a history degree from the College of Holy Cross. In 1973, Don returned to LaSalle as a faculty member, teaching anatomy, physiology, and physical education while coaching championship-winning cross-country and track teams. He later became phys ed department chair before serving as assistant principal and athletic director at St. Raphael Academy in 1984. His leadership continued at Barrington High School as director of athletics and student activities. Don returned to LaSalle in 1999 as assistant principal, becoming principal in 2000. He was principal when my children both went there, and they rave about you, Don. Over 22 years, he led the school's expansion, overseeing the construction of major academic and athletic facilities and guiding the institution through the COVID-19 pandemic. His commitment to academic excellence, athletics, and the arts helped LaSalle cement its reputation as a premier educational institution in New England. In 2018, Don was honored as an elite brother of the an affiliate brother of the Christian schools and the highest recognition by Christian Brothers, acknowledging his lifelong commitment to Lasallian education. Don and his late wife, Christine, raised 2 beautiful sons, Matthew and Patrick, and he is proud grandfather of Eloise. Don.
Joanne, thank you for that history lesson. I do want to go on record that I have the toughest act to follow after that dancing. So I want to go on record for that. So welcome to all the dignitaries from both sides of the pond. We appreciate you all being here, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. What a joy it is to gather today to celebrate not only Irish heritage, but a wonderful new friendship, the twinning of the cities of Providence, Rhode Island, and Athlone, Ireland. Today we're building a bridge across the Atlantic, one made of culture, education, economics, and all kinds of opportunities. And if we're honest, probably a few good pints along the way. Athlone sits proudly along the great river Shannon, as you've heard. It's Ireland's longest river. In Irish legend, that river is named for the goddess Shannon, a woman of curiosity and courage, who sought the wisdom of the sacred well. The waters burst forth and flowed across the land, becoming the Shannon River itself, a river that connects towns, stories, and generations. It feels fitting today that we celebrate a partnership born from that same spirit of curiosity. two communities reaching outward to learn from one another. High school students in each locale sharing their gift of music and voice with us today in a few minutes. Providence and Athlone may be separated by an ocean, but they share powerful communities, proud traditions, great universities, creative energy, and people who know the importance of both hard work and a good celebration. The Irish poet Patrick Kavanagh once wrote, "To know fully even one field or one land is a lifetime's experience." Today we begin the joyful work of knowing not only just our own fields, but each other's, sharing ideas, students, artists, businesses, and maybe even a few family recipes. If this partnership leads to more prominent Irish music in Providence and a better clam chowder in Athlone, history will judge this twinning a tremendous success. So may the spirit of Shannon's flowing river remind us that the connections grow stronger when they keep moving, across borders, across oceans, and across communities. Here's to Providence and Athlone. May this friendship run long, strong, and joyful, just like the Shannon River itself. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all. Enjoy the parade tomorrow. And now I'd like to introduce next year's Providence St. Patrick's Day Parade Grand Marshal for 2027, Brendan Doherty.
Thank you, Don. Distinguished guests and friends and our distinguished mayors from Ireland and the committee members. Everyone's been mentioned already, but I want to thank the council president and Council Ryan and Bishop, thank you, and Mayor, thank you so much for all the good work you do. I'm proud to be here. I'm very, I've been to this parade 100 times, as Pat knows, maybe not 100, it hasn't gone 100 times, but I really enjoy the parade, and this time I'll have some grandchildren there waving to me, assisting Don Kavanaugh. So I wanted to tell a story that, and I'll be brief, folks. There's a story that I told Mary Smith. I know Mary's here somewhere, Mary Smith, and her response was the saying by William Butler Yeats that Mayor Smiley just mentioned a few minutes ago, and that is, there's no strangers here, only friends who haven't met yet. When you think about that for a minute, it really has a lot of impact and a lot of friendships, not only here in the United States, but afar. And Patrick will remember this story because I had a dear friend that many of you may, or some of you may know, may remember. His name was Mike White. And Mike White was the brother at the time of the investigative reporter Jack White, and Mike was an investigator for the Attorney General's office in Rhode Island. Just a real special guy, a very, very compassionate guy, and good person. And he loved Ireland, and he was a dual citizen of Ireland. And every trip he would go on with like 10 people, he'd ask me to go with him, and I said, "No, Mike, I go with my brothers. Can you hear me okay in the back?" So I said, "Mike, I'm not going to go with you. I go with my brothers." Well, he got upset with me, and we were at Patrick's Pub, a pub on Smith Street, Providence, Rhode Island, and he had a system with this trip where it was like a week left, and he called me at home. "You've got a week left to register for this trip," and then a couple of days later, and he couldn't take no for an answer, but he insisted that I meet a friend in Faha, which I believe is in Kilkenny. Does that make sense? It's a small little village, and he insisted that I meet Tom O'Leary. He said, "Tom O'Leary is one of the most popular guys in the county, and he's just a great guy to meet, and you need to meet him." Everything I would hear, Tom O'Leary, Tom O'Leary, Tom O'Leary. Well, I skipped that trip, and that didn't go. Michael White was not happy with me. We had a 50th birthday party for him about a month later at Patrick's Pub, and unfortunately, Mike passed about a month later. And I never got to meet Tom O'Leary, even though I promised him I'd meet Tom O'Leary someday, but I never. Mike passed, and those trips stopped. So about 6 months later, I went over to Ireland, about my 10th trip, with my mother-in-law, my wife, and my 2 children. My kids were young at the time. And this is about 20 years ago. And long story short, we were in the Dublin area, and I needed to get down to the Ring of Kerry and that area. And a fella in the hotel, I'm going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. The fella in the hotel said, "Why drive your whole family down? Why don't you take the train? It's a wonderful trip, and it stops at a place called Faha, and there's a car rental place right there." So I said, "That sounds great." So I went over and got the tickets and put this together. We left the hotel, went right over to the train station, and we're on our way to Faha. And my mother-in-law and my wife were talking about arts and entertainment and things that I wanted to talk to somebody local. And there was only one other person in the car that we got in. There were several cars on the train, but the one we were in, there was only one guy. He's about 10 rows up, and he had his cap down. So I sat next to him because I was thinking, when this guy looks up, I can, talk about tell me a little bit about the Faha area and all that. Well, he didn't lift his head up for 2 hours. The train stopped. We all got off. We all got off from that car. No one else got off. It was just that gentleman and my family. And it's a parking lot it's the size of Kennedy Plaza. Cars everywhere, but not a human being anywhere. And this gentleman's walking toward his car. My wife said, "Where's the rental place?" "Yeah, I thought you had this squared away." No, I did. I thought I did. So I said, "I only have one option here." I said, "Excuse me, sir. Hey, what can I do for you?" "Well, they told me there's a rental car agency right here where we get off, but there's nothing here." I mean, you had to see it. It was like out of a Western movie. There's a little booth that sold tickets years ago, but that's closed. Parking lot, but it was a beautiful scenery, but no people. And he said, "I'll tell you what, they tell everybody that. Leave your family here and get in my car, and I'll drive you over to the car rental place, and then you can come back and get your family." So I did that, and he said, "So where are you from?" Well, we're in the car just getting ready, and my family, my wife's mother-in-law was waving, and I said, we're about an hour south of Boston, Massachusetts. And he said, "Like Providence, Rhode Island?" I thought, "Wow, that's pretty good." "Yeah, Providence." He said, "I have a dear friend that passed. He lived in Cumberland." I said, at the time I lived in Cumberland. I said, "I know Cumberland." But when you talk to someone in Europe and they can identify little towns like Cumberland, it's like surreal. So I said, you really mean Cumberland, Rhode Island?" "Yes. My friend Mike White, he passed. And I went to his funeral I said, "What's your name?" "My name is Tommy O'Leary." He said, "What's your name?" I said, "It's Brendan Doherty." He said, "We were supposed to meet." And he gave me a hug. You can't make that up. There's no strangers in the house, just friends who haven't met yet. Thank you. Thank you.
Good story. That was a great story. I want to recognize the Providence Hurlers. Are you guys in the room? Are you still here? The Hurlers are here. I would just like to thank them. So when I was first elected 12 years ago, they came to me and they said they needed a really long field. So I searched and searched in all of Providence, and lo and behold, the longest field in the city of Providence is in my ward, in the 5th Ward. So we created a hurling field for them, and we've maintained it, and I've invested in it through the years with the support of the mayor and the council, and it is the home, the 5th Ward field, Obadiah Brown Road, is the home to the Providence Hurlers. It's in my ward. I'm proud to be able to support you through the years, and you guys are fabulous. So, yes, Providence has a hurling team. They were surprised to learn that. Every time we talk, it seems something new emerges. And I can't let this moment end without recognizing my dear friend, former mayor, Frankie Kina. So we talked about We talked about Angus O'Rourke, mayor, current chair of the Twinning Committee, and we were impressed by the current mayor of Athlone. But Frankie Keena, former mayor of Athlone, current councilperson, actually signed the agreement as the mayor of Athlone. So his name will live in infamy. That was a special day. I also want to recognize, I don't know if all of the folks from Athlone that are here have been recognized, but there's a tremendous group. I'd like you just to stand, please. The council people from Athlone, we have John Dolan, Leah McDaniel, Tom Farrell. We've got Mr. Barry Keogh, the CEO, Westmeath County Council. We've got Irf David from Westmeath County Council as well. You guys are going to stand up when I call your names. You've heard from Vinnie McCormick. We've heard from Angus. Who else do we have? Mr. Tom Hogan, CEO, Athlone Chamber of Commerce. We have Miss Lucy Nally, cultural officer and student exchange aficionado. Mr. Brendan Waldron, principal of the school, which I can't say, and I'm gonna get it. We have musicians that have also joined the group, Sean Nally, Mr. Rowan Hanrahan. From the Technical Institute of Shannon, Mr. Donsha McNamara, Mr. James Brown, and Professor Austin Coffey. And you already met Pat Fitzpatrick and Des Roan, our military folks. They're not standing again, they only get one stand. I also can't let this moment end without recognizing my sister on the city council, and that is Councilwoman Mary Kay Harris. Councilwoman Harris and I are the senior members of the Providence City Council. We came in together 12 years ago, and we have been together ever since. She truly is my sister on the council, and I can't thank you enough for your support through the years. Okay. So now, the moment, we're concluding this. The moment, I can't end without asking the Providence Parade Committee members to stand and be recognized. And Mary Smith is behind the column in the back. The parade is not just something they put together in a month. It's a year-long commitment, and they're constantly working on it. Thank you. It's a wonderful, wonderful community-building activity, and we love it. It's wonderful for the city of Providence. And now we're going to enjoy a performance. So, I'm going to basically, Lucy, turn it over to you. Would you like the students to stand and sing from there, or would they like to come up here? Okay. You're in charge. And you're going to say the name. So these are the exchange students, folks. There's 11 students that came over. Lucy brought them over, and they had the pleasure of staying with 10 host families at LaSalle Academy. In LaSalle Academy, we're honored by the Grand Marshal, obviously, but LaSalle Academy also sent their choir group to sing with Lucy and our friends from Athlone. So I'm not going to say anything else. Take the mic.
Good afternoon, everybody. What an honor it is for us to be here today. A huge privilege. This all started 1 year ago. I visited LaSalle High School, and I met with the principal, president, and Grand Marshal for the parade, Don Kavanagh. And it was very much an idea at the beginning, I suppose, a great idea, but since then it has all come to fruition, a student exchange between Coláiste Ciarán and LaSalle Academy. So we're really, really proud to be here today and representing not only, I suppose, our town, our school, our families, but also our country. It's a huge honour. So just before we begin, if you just afford me the opportunity to mention the students, I know there's an awful lot of family at home that are listening in, tuning in, and a very, very proud day for them too. So we have Aristide Selve on the fiddle, Cueva Lyons on the harp, Maria Naughton on the whistle, Grace Mears, Maya Plunkett, Jamie Moore, our vocalists, our dancers, Caitlin Warren and John Morris, our soloists, Eve O'Sullivan, Sheena Moore, Saoirse Nolan. We will perform 2 pieces. Our first piece will be with LaSalle Academy Chamber, and I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank Miss Brittany Dyer for all her help and support in organising this. She will conduct the choir, and I will accompany on the piano. We are going to sing a piece called May the Road Rise to Meet You. It's of huge significance. I know it was mentioned in some of the speeches already. And the reason we chose this piece was because it is very much a piece that means a lot to us, I suppose, in Coláiste Ciarán. And it's a lovely, special sentiment. It's an Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. And it's very, very nice lyrics. For example, one of the verses that we will sing is that there is a season, a time for laughter, a time for tears, a time for meeting, a time to say goodbye, a time for living, and a time for going home. So it's very, very apt for our visit here. And it's by an American composer, an Irish blessing. It really couldn't be more suitable for the day that's in it. And then we'll perform a piece, Coláiste Ciarán students, called O Row Mavádín, which means, oh, row my boat, which links in almost perfectly with the idea of the River Shannon. And something else I'd just like to mention very quickly that Mayor McCormick mentioned was the Shannuckle, as we say, which is an old Irish phrase, Ní neart go cur le céile, which is also our school motto. So very, very special. Strength in unity is what that means. So as I said, we're delighted to be here. We'll finish up with a tune that we have instrumentalists from Athlone Coltis and Phelan na Shonana, Sean Nally on the banjo and Ronan Hanrahan on the button accordion. And we will have dancers, John Morris and Caitlin Moran will dance to that. So thank you very much.
shine warm upon your face, upon your face. May the rain fall on your fields, and until we meet again, keep safe in the gentle, loving arms of God.
Just have to dance and then we're done. If you want to say something, just take a second to change their shoes.
Oh, you have dancers?
Just 2 minutes with the
Oh, okay.
musicians.
Okay. All right. We're not done yet. We have dancers, more music, musicians, and more dancing. So we're just going to shoe change. But I would like to talk about the exchange with LaSalle Academy. These students, first of all, they brought me to tears, quite frankly, but they worked together through Zoom to practice the songs that they sang with us today. So, Lucy, you're going to take it over, right? What are they doing?
So we just have instrumentalists here from Phelan Shunana and Coltis, Sean Nally on the banjo and Ronan Hanrahan on button accordion, and 2 of our students from Closh Ciaran, John Morris and Caitlin Moran. They're just putting on their shoes to dance. They're going to perform a heavy reel for us. And like I suppose all great thank you speeches, I forgot one very, very important person in my speech. And I just want to thank Mr. Thomas Haynes, who is the Director of Arts. Can we please have a round of applause for him? Because he has done immense work in making this exchange happen. And what a special moment it was for me as a teacher and a performer to have students from Closh Ciaran sing and perform there. It's a memory I will treasure forever. So I wonder are my dancers nearly ready yet?
gosh. So, thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry you fell. Just so you know, we dance on this floor. This floor has more scuff marks on it from Irish dancers than anywhere. So that next time you come, and I hope you come back, no needs for mats. You can dance on this floor. But first, thank you so much. You guys were wonderful. That was so entertaining. You brought me to tears. And I'd like to just ask the mayor to conclude.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I don't know about in Ireland, but here, if you know it's a good party if someone gets hurt and nobody wants to say goodbye. So I think that marks this a success. And we have thoroughly enjoyed, particularly the young voices we just got to hear. So to our friends at LaSalle, thank you very much. And to our visitors, thank you so much. We hope to see everyone tomorrow. If you're up for it, Mayor, there's a 5K road race down Smith Street. Then, of course, please join us for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And then I know there is the traditional stop afterwards, maybe at a certain drinking establishment on Smith Street. And we are all thrilled to once again welcome and thank our friends from Athlone. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.
We're not leaving yet. We've just had so much fun.
You thought you were done. One last final treat.
Just to mark the occasion, we just want to present, and many thanks to Councillor Angus O'Rourke for arranging the shipping and getting this over all the way from Ireland, but it's our great pleasure.
Can we just have your attention just a second?
I was just saying many thanks to Councillor Angus O'Rourke for arranging getting this over all the way from Ireland. I know there was a lot of strategic planning involved, but just a symbol of our friendship, we want to present this bowl of shamrock to Mayor Smiley, and thank you for everything you've done. Out here, okay.
All right. Now we're done. Thank you, everybody. That's great. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Thank
You're not done.
Aha. Oh. Oh my goodness. Let's do it.
Do I get one? That's lovely.